SMT Nation, we back. Nation, this is basically the last chip to fall with regards to big telco, mobile network operators, as well as cable ISPs. Basically any company that sells wireless mobile plans. And, with Charter now done, Spectrum, for those of you that know the business, we can kind of put the whole industry into proper perspective. What's going on in the consumer marketplace? How are these businesses operating? With regards to Q2 and then some future looking guidance. And for Charter, and specifically in this video, we'll cover all the details, how they did with respect to their wireless, their broadband core business, their financials, some of the networking upgrades that are ongoing, and then some other random business stuff, and some things which I think are actually really concerning about this company. This is basically another episode of The Weak and Shameless, as cable continues to lie through their teeth and try to bullshit people. But we're going to call them out, and we're going to bring the facts here to this video. I'll go ahead and link the web page for where you can find their investors relations stuff. And you guys can check out more details if you like there. Also linked in the description is the Real SMT Buy Me a Coffee link. Want to support your creators directly? Buy us a coffee. That's one way to do it. You can do other things too. There's other ways. They're all in the description box. And if you're looking for a really good deal on wireless service, I still see deflation promotion pricing on Mint Mobile. So use our partner link, mintmobile.com/sneed. Take advantage of their phone deals, their service deals. They're great. The legendary customer care with that incredible value. Can't beat it. Check them out. All right, so let's break down this video into segments. Let's start with segment number 1. This will be the financials. All right, so total revenues are up 0.5% with respect to year over year. Broadband revenue up 3.1% year over year. Mobile service revenue up 30% year over year. Other revenue growth at 29% year over year. And adjusted EBITDA up 0.2% year over year. Free cash flow, this is very interesting, concerning a little bit. Free cash flow came in at what was the free cash flow? I think I wrote this down wrong. Nope, I did write it down right. $668 million. Previous quarter was $1.7 billion. Okay, so I'll talk more about that in kind of like the other segment where I just kind of wrap things up. But we're seeing service revenue declines with respect to broadband quarter over quarter. And I think that greatly impacted free cash flow. That 60% decline is really sharp. I think it's investment, right? I think they're pumping back into the company assets with respect to networking upgrades. So we'll see if that manifests itself in the return section. With respect to their core business, which is broadband, home broadband, residential and small medium business, they added 77,000 customers. That brings their total customer base to 32.2 million. So that includes all forms of their broadband. Okay, and overall, I mean, they're a big company. They have a lot of customers. That is a lot of customers. The problem is if you're counting residential, small and medium-sized business, and you're only getting 77,000, that is basically flat. Still better than Comcast, who came in at a loss. I had to frickin' finally find that number. It was like minus 19,000 or something. So cable holding L's with respect to their core business. And folks, you can most definitely give responsibility to T-Mobile, fixed wireless, their 5G home internet, and Verizon 5G home internet. They are taking their share, folks. With respect to wireless, they continue to thrive. All right, 648,000 wireless lines added, 6.6 million total lines now on that service. That Spectrum bundle is absolutely a success. When we look at, quarter one, where they had over 700,000 ads, and then this one coming in at 648,000. And I don't really think it's going to change. I think they will continue to be the market share leader. Charter specifically seems to, really attract the most customers. I think it's a combination of that Spectrum bundle, plus the fact that they have a very large addressable footprint, makes it a very attractive offer, very compelling to customers. You come in, you basically get a free line of service for a year. And the home internet's $50. And, you get, I think, home service and then home phone service and they give you the router, with the modem. So it's a very attractive offer, and I think that's why they're garnering so much attention and they're getting so much share. So really, it's quite crazy to think about this. Charter and Comcast are the market leaders in wireless growth. Together, I think they hit over another million. If not, they're real close. So that's an interesting development. That continues to be the case. It was very similar last quarter. With respect to the network, their broadband network, they're shooting for gig symmetrical in 15% of their footprint this year. All right, I'm not sure if they're there yet. I don't know if that's happening this quarter or if it's right now. So, but that's awesome. We love fast speeds, and the fact that it's gig symmetrical is very encouraging. It makes it very fiber-like, right? Next step is going to be 5 gig service to 50% of their footprint by late 2024. So basically, we're talking about a little over a year from now. That's a nice chunk, 50% of their footprint. So they'll be upgrading, getting the next level hardware installations, and making some of those mods happening on their network footprint. The 10 gig service will be available to 35% of the footprint late 2024. That's a pretty good number too. That's really high grade capacity. They're going to have a 25 gig service as well, what they refer to as fiber on demand. Right? I don't think you could do that with coax. So really, it's going to be the fiber piece where they have that direct to consumer, and they're talking about that service being available in some locations in 2024. Now, to kind of wrap things up here with some other items, they obviously they've got an elevated, higher capex demand. They're investing in their network aggressively to compete with fiber and to deal with the fixed wireless access pressures. Right, they're going to have to make their network better, much better than fixed wireless access, because clearly with the inferior product, as Charter and Comcast have referred to, Verizon 5G home internet and T-Mobile 5G home internet, they've called it inferior. Doesn't matter. Apparently the consumer speaks in cost, right, and reliability, and as long as it's good enough and they like what they're paying for it, they will take it. And that's what we're seeing play out. Right, the venom for cable continues as fixed wireless takes share. We could due to explosive pricing, bad customer interactions, whatever the case may be. Higher cash taxes were also identified as a pressure. There were some share buybacks that were going on. Small business ARPU is down. I'm just guessing they probably have to be more aggressive to keep those customers from leaving. So you're probably seeing them be a little bit more aggressive with promotional offers to retain customers, and that might be driving pricing down. With respect to their product penetration, 46% of customers have one service from Spectrum. That was flat quarter over quarter, year over year, 46%. All right, the number of customers with 2 services is at 33%. That decreased year over year. And the number of customers with 3 services came in at 21%. That also decreased year over year. These are important metrics, folks. The wireless operators, mobile network providers, home service providers, they want you taking to multiple services. That increases the stickiness of a customer when they have multiple services. They're less likely to churn. They're less likely to leave because it's messy, right? So you got mobile service with them, you got home service with them. Maybe you're also a business customer. Those types of things are what these providers look for. And clearly, they're moving in the wrong direction. Advertising revenues are down, I think, 16.5% year over year. And in response to all of this, just looking at the broader stock market, the S&P is up, I think, about 7% as we speak. And, Charter is down, I think, at least 2 or 3% today. So a little bit of a sell-off relative to probably some of these soft numbers. Investors are probably seeing, okay, this company has to invest in their network to be more competitive, and they're going to be dumping a bunch of money into this, and they're not growing the broadband subscriber base. And based on the ARPUs, they're not really seeing that play out either. Maybe that's what they're thinking, and they're probably, some that are selling and maybe pushing their money somewhere else. But it's not a steep drop-off. The house is not on fire. Nobody needs to run out of this stock. but clearly a soft quarter for them as the growth for these companies, especially Charter Comcast, it's really stalled out. All right, but what do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section below. You are the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.